Classroom management, time management in the classroom. Time really does fly, especially in the classroom. I've often heard colleagues complain about not having enough instruction time. Things like, where did the time go? Or, I couldn't manage to squeeze in all the smart learning activities that I've planned, are not uncommon. Of course, we want to engage each and every student in all the classroom activities and meet the lesson objectives as much as possible. And this can be a challenging task to complete, given the limits of instructional time. A shortage of time is something that teachers in all parts of the world run into on a regular basis. One possible solution can be to further hone your time management skills. This will make it possible for you to complete everything you plan for as part of the class and meet your learning objectives. Time management in teaching can be defined as the effective and efficient use of time to increase productivity and achievement. Good time management in the classroom can help enhance your students' performance and lower your anxiety. Time management is the process of planning and monitoring how much time we spend on activities in the classroom. How do we ensure that time is managed effectively both for students and for ourselves? How do we increase the time for learning and acquisition? What are the principles of effective time management? If you're concerned about not having enough instructional time in the classroom, you may want to start by assessing your classroom management and the organizational aspects of teaching. Do multiple disruptions and behavioral problems divert your attention to resolving issues with discipline? Does that take away a lot of your instructional time? If so, think of how to minimize disruptions through planning, establishing routines to reduce confusion and wasting time, utilizing independent assignments, using learning activities that appeal to and work well with the different learning styles of your students, using seating charts, and creating a classroom environment that makes it possible for students to move smoothly from one activity to the next. Planning is crucial if you want to use the class time as efficiently as possible. Clear lesson objectives, a topic that taps into the interests of your students, a choice of activities that aligns with the various learning styles in your classroom, and an estimate of how long activities or tasks will take can make so much difference. Share the learning objectives with your students at the start of the class before you delve into the teaching process. Posting the outline of the lesson in the classroom is sometimes an effective way of keeping the class from straying away from the learning objectives for too long. Point out the overall learning objectives and list the activities along with how much time is allocated to complete them. This will be a good reminder both for your students and for yourself. Monitor the time during the class as much as possible. Be aware of and plan for the classroom dynamic. Some groups may like discussions, while others can find it difficult to take part in debates, sharing with a larger group, and things like that. Different group dynamics can have an effect on how much time is spent on specific activities. Consider changing up some of these activities so that all types of learners are meaningfully engaged. So, instead of holding discussions for all students, you could try to make time for individual writing in response to a question. Although you might want to do all the learning activities you've planned, depending on the group dynamic, you might sometimes need to prioritize the tasks that are essential to cover the most important topics of the lesson. Delegate tasks. Sharing some of the classroom tasks like collecting assignments, reading stories to the class, or monitoring the time with your students can occasionally help you use class time more effectively. Reflect on and assess the success of your lesson plan after each class and adjust it for the next week if you need to.